Yeah, Charlene is actually a friend of mine for a long time. I know her back then when I was doing my graduate school in UIUC. So she's a data scientist and beyond pricing in San Francisco, where she develops dynamic pricing algorithm for the vacation rental business. As a career switcher, she leveraged her domain knowledge as a business analyst in the hospitality industry and enhanced her data science skills, and then successfully started a new path on the data science track. And there's a cute picture of her and with the husband of half half face. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Sophia and I we met even before my baby was born.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Sophie, for the introduction. Hi, everyone. I'm Shelly, data scientist at Beyond Pricing in San Francisco. And I hope my diverse experience can inspire some of you in career development. Not like previous speakers who come from a scientific and academic space, my domain industry is hospitality management and dynamic pricing. So basically, come up with the everyday price for a hotel room or a rental car. And I was working as a business analyst, analyzing data with Excel spreadsheet actually for a couple of years. And however, I was not satisfied with that. A lot of questions from my work remain not answered. They are related to like pricing test with experimental design, manage products pricing at larger scale with big data processing, or optimization functions to find the local maximum of the revenue while moving the pricing parameter, etc. So I was so eager to obtain new knowledge and skills that I joined a master program of information and data science at UC Berkeley. So the systematic data science curriculum helped me build my knowledge from the scratch. So, but I know in the data science job market, many students with academic training in data science are looking for the same data scientist position. So the competition is severe to some degree. Without rich working experience in the data science position, I realized that I have to leverage my domain experience in the competition. So there is like a famous Venn diagram. I believe everyone already know like about the skill set of data scientist. The first one is mathematics. Second one is computer science, and the third one is domain expertise. So the school taught us like math and computer science skills, but domain knowledge is another key element to help me get my dream job. So with many years of experience in hospitality management and dynamic pricing, I gradually realized that during my job hunting that I should make full use of my previous domain expertise and looking for a data scientist position in maybe a hospitality company or a tech company providing a dynamic pricing solution. So either way, then I found Beyond Pricing. It's a startup company providing dynamic pricing solution for a short-term rental business in San Francisco. Um, at that time, I perfectly matched their data scientist job requirements and successfully joined them. I've tried other industry as well, but maybe it's because like brand pricing is, I interview with brand pricing like later on my job hunting, or it's maybe because of like it's perfect match, so I got in very smoothly. I'm able to introduce the best practice from hotel pricing to my new work in the short-term rental pricing. What's more, the course I learned from my data science program answered my previous questions in the work, as I mentioned, and allow me to leverage them into my current job. Um, and although the more niche, I would say the more niche the domain industry is, like me, the less company that there are looking for data scientists in the market. But I would say you will be also be only one or two talent that perfectly match their needs. Then you have bargaining power in the negotiation of either like the competition, compensation, I mean, or the project that you are interested to working on. And there is a quote saying, maybe yeah, it's extreme hard to achieve the top 1% on one field, like data science, but it's relatively easy to become the top 20 in two fields that can support each other, like data science and your domain knowledge, domain industry, I mean. So as a career switcher, I would recommend folks who have a similar experience and career goals to leverage both sides, the domain expertise and the new acquired data science skills from school. So focus on the industry that you can make the most impact and show your biggest strengths. And then I'm pretty sure that your dream job will just waiting for you on the way. Yeah, thank you. That's it.
Awesome. Yeah. I definitely remember I was super impressed by how quickly like Charlene landed a job in industry, especially in Silicon Valley. Yeah. Um, yeah, and also I also see like a lot of folks in my own team, they have domain knowledge and then they are like, you know, more quickly adapt to the work. They understand the business problem more quickly. So having domain knowledge is definitely a very important factor. And yeah, for those who are thinking about finding jobs, yeah, maybe you can also like think about, oh, which industry is closer to my industry? Maybe chemistry engineering, they also need a lot of data science, and start from there. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so I know we are like running a bit long. We have 10 minutes and we still have 10 minutes for questions. I know we skipped some questions in the beginning, so I would just from there. Yeah, Emily's also the co-organizer of Homo DS. She says Udemy has some good ones. Yeah, I actually started to take a course on Udemy about Python. Their course pretty easy to get on. So yeah. I think Vanessa says I have used all Python's data during my master's program. Would you recommend getting online certificates to show that I actually learned them? Is getting extra certificates important? Yeah, does any of you want to answer this question? Just feel free to unmute yourself.
My opinion would be that the certificates are not important. If I were reviewing a resume, I think if you really want to show potential employers that you learned Python and R and such, then just do a project and have that project be on your resume. That's tons more like illustrative of your skills.
Sort of too easy to click through a Coursera and not learn anything. So there's not very good proof.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, let's get to the next one. Stein asks, how important do you think is a PhD for the transition? I personally don't think it's important, but I would like to hear other folks say.
I'll go first and say for solutions architect, it's 99.9% not important.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. It's different. Like it's more about like applying, and a PhD we are trained to be an expert. We are pushing the limits a little bit. But industry, it was more like solving problem, building products for every day, everybody. So it's I think it's different. Yeah. Okay, so I see there's a couple more questions. Okay, maybe I missed it. So I see there are some discussions about salary negotiations there. Yeah, it is important, you know, you know your value, because it's not for the company's best interest to give you the best offer. So it is actually sometimes, unfortunately, it lays on us. It's our responsibility to figure out, is it fair? And I learned like earlier this year that actually in Washington State, we have this law that if you ask HR, oh, if you have an offer or if you are working on a job, if you say, oh, I want to know my salary range, and by law, they have to get that back to you. it's not like specific, like it can be quite a large range, but they will tell you about the median, etc. So I did ask HR about that, and definitely have more clarity on my salary range. So it's important. Yeah, I see. Emily says, safe to say you're likely to be tested on the coding skills in the coding interview, so better to spend your time brushing up for that. Yeah, I agree with that. I see Anchi has a question. I have a question for Yayun. Could you share the experience you mentioned when you suddenly gained confidence in applying data science roles?
Suddenly gain confidence in applying data science roles. Do you mean that?
Yeah, I think she just means it sounds like you have a transition point, like you suddenly feel confident.
Right, I mean, like you just mentioned in the interview, you suddenly gain confidence, like you realize you are prepared, you know a lot more things you thought you know.
Oh yeah, so yeah. At the beginning, when I was looking for jobs in data science, I set like my expectation very low and expect like I only will get some salary or compensation, like for example 80K, something like that. But during my interview, like when the recruiters or the hiring managers ask my like salary like expectation, something like that, and when I say like I only need like 80K or something like that, and they were very surprised. They said that, oh, you develop yourself, you know that, right? So like I encountered something like that for like 2 or 3 times, and then I realized, wow, data scientists deserve more, and then I reset my expectation. And also like during the interviews, I used to think that the things in industry would be very complicated to understand, but I found out that no, it's not. It's much easier than like the things we learned as a like PhD. You know, like for PhD, we need to go very, very deep. But sometimes like when we go things very deep and we are worried about like the broad, like the general understanding of some knowledge. And then I found out like to interview for data science positions, we don't need to have like very deep knowledge. And we just need to have like some general understandings about like what's going on here and have some like programming skills. In my opinion, those are much easier than PhD research. And then I gain my confidence since then, yeah.
Thank you. So you realized this during the lot of interviews, is that right?
Yeah. Yes,
I see.
actually, I personally do not recommend anyone to do this like as me, because I think I really made lots of mistakes in the interviews. So I learned by doing the interviews, but I think you should learn before the interviews. That's the best way. But somehow, I mean, like that's learning from interviews are also very important. Like make sure you apply like those companies that you are very interested in. Like you should try to push them to a later time. Interviews for some company like you are not very interested, but you kind of want to try